Hi, my name is Sean Taylor. That guy over there is my friend Jesse Lobbs. Welcome to
Hello.
Pokemalarkey, the show that's kind of about Pokemon, but mostly about me and Jesse. And Ian, if you're listening, it's also mostly about you, my friend. And we are so excited to talk to you today about Indigo League episode 30. We did an episode check this time around.
Woo!
Episode 30. Sparks fly for Magnemite! Exclamation point, exclamation point. Oh, hey, my wife must be home because my dog's having a panic attack. So this one's called Sparks Fly for Magnemite. But before we get to that, Jesse, as always,
Green
how are
City.
you?
I am great. I am doing fabulous. And Sean, may I be the very first to say to you, Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Happy holidays.
We
Um,
hope that everybody in the world listens to this episode on Christmas Day just to celebrate Christmas with us. I'm
I
sure it won't
hope
happen, but
I hope you all take your Obama snow out of its Pokeball and throw some tree garland around it and pretend like it's a Christmas tree and just have a good time.
that's the cutest visual description I've heard
I
all day.
imagine I imagine Obama Snow would get very angry.
I think he'd be very upset. I hope that you decorate your Bulbasaur as if he were a onion frog dog tree because he's got it right there on his back. Decorate your Bulbasaurs with.
You could hang a lot of ornaments on those vines.
I think you could.
Just
He
saying.
could string them straight up, and you could just hang ornaments for days. So go crazy. Merry
And like
Christmas. Happy
deck the
holidays.
halls with Bulbasaur vines.
Vi-
La 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 la
You
la.
have to add vines if you just deck the halls with Bulbasaur. It sounds pretty violent, honestly. You got to add the vines. That's integral. The I forgot what I was going to say. Hey, Merry Christmas. Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
If you
Happy
got
holidays.
awesome nerdy gifts, share them with us. We first of all, we like to hear about it. Second of all, it gives us ideas of what we want when we inevitably buy our own Christmas presents after
Yeah,
the fact.
yeah. Tell me what gifts that you got that I will be jealous of and have to go out and buy.
Because my wife and I personally have reached the age and the time in our lives where we really don't get each other presents until after Christmas, and then we say, "What on our list did we not get?"
That's
And then
right.
we go buy that thing.
Sean reached old age some time ago. So
Probably last week when I tried to figure out Discord. Jesse, just real quick, instead of like the normal "Hi, how are you?" maybe just give me one thing on your Christmas list, something outrageous. Hit me with it.
I want world peace. No, I
Oh,
want I
okay, but what do
want
you want?
I want Lego. I want Legos. I want books. You know what? Actually, this year I usually have like one solid. This is something I really, really want. And this year I'm just like, buy me some books, buy me some Legos, buy me some manga. I'm good. I'm good. I guess my wishes this year are a lot more general than they usually are.
That's good. That's a big win.
What do you want?
I want Devil Dragon Neon and the Castlevania collection, the physical versions on the Nintendo Switch. If anybody out there is looking for Sean specifically, I don't think anybody else is going to pluck those off of my list anytime soon. Also, I do apologize for my barking dog. I promise it's an angry bark, but it's because my wife is home. He's very excited. Speaking of exciting, Jesse, that's my horrible segue into talking about this episode. Sparks Fly for Magnemite, Indigo League, episode 30 worldwide, so episode 30 for real, as we're going to call it. Would you care to give us a little rundown?
I will, but I gotta call out. I gotta call out the literal Japanese title for this episode is incredible. It's "Do Magnemite Dream of Electric Mice," which is a play on "Do Androids Dream." Oh no, I forgot that the Philip K. Dick novel. Anyway, it's fun. It's a wink at you if you like sci-fi.
It's
But
way over my head. I have no idea. To me, it just sounds dirty, honestly. To me, it just
well,
sounds
let's
dirty.
go to Gringy City. Ash, Misty, and Brock arrive in Gringy City, where everything is Gringy.
What?
There's
What? Hold
Grinch,
on.
there's
Rewind.
crime, there's pollution, there's gloom, They get there, they notice all of the pollution, and Pikachu turns out not to feel well. They rush the Pokemon Center while a Pokemon in the shadows watches them. This episode has a very noir feel, with very dark, not a lot of light. But Ash rushes Pikachu to the Pokemon Center. Meanwhile, Team Rocket are trying to figure out a way to steal Pokemon. And one thing they can do is they can dive through the sewer system. But they're in the sewer, so it smells terrible. So Meowth conveniently gets them scuba suits that breathe in fresh air and air freshener. Um, but they're still not willing to do it. But Meowth electric shocks them until they go in there themselves. Um, at the Pokemon Center, Ash rings the bell. Nurse Joy comes out. She just tells Ash that Pikachu only has a cold. And Ash gets upset because he wants to make sure Pikachu is taken care of. But Nurse Joy explains that if they just leave Pikachu there in the night, they'll get better. At the same time, a group of Grimer end up blocking the water flow into the power plant, which stops the generator and causes all the lights to go out, all the electricity to go out in the city. Um, that puts Pokemon who are in critical condition at the Pokemon Center in danger. So Ash and the gang decide they're going to try to figure out how to bring the power back on. They go ask Officer Jenny, and Officer Jenny's like, "Yeah, you kids go take care of it." And Brock, Misty, and Ash go to the power plant. Um, Pikachu hops out, and decide Pikachu doesn't want to be left alone, so Pikachu follows them. Meanwhile, Jesse and James are drowning because, well, not drowning, they're suffocating because they're drowning from air.
I also just realized I had myself muted on OBS, so people just watched you stare at me and me not respond to you in silence for a minute, for like
Fun.
10 seconds.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
my bad, y'all.
It's exciting. It brings variety, and variety is the spice of life. Um, Jesse and James almost suffocate to death, but Meowth pulls them out. As our gang of heroes enter the power plant, um, they try to find the central control room, and they freak out because a shadowy figure is there, and they turn around and it ends up being a Magnemite. Ash tries to catch it, but Magnemite is only interested in Pikachu, hovering around Pikachu. They're convinced that Magnemite is probably in love with Pikachu. Ash yells at it to leave, and it seems to do so. About that same time, they get a really bad smell, and falling from the ceiling are a group of Grimer. Um, they end up insulting the Grimer by talking about their smell, and the Grimer and a Muck, Grimer's evolved form, chases them through the power plant where they meet two plant workers, and they run to the control room for safety. One of the workers explains that the Grimer have clogged the pipes to prevent the power from coming back on, and they are trying to figure out what to do about it. The Grimer break down the door. Pikachu uses Thunder Shock to stop the Grimer. They, um, the two power plant workers are like, "You're Pokemon trainers. Can't you do something?" And our team of heroes is just like, "I guess we just have this one sick Pokemon," despite having a million Pokemon in their bag. Pikachu uses Thunder Shock on the Grimer. It's not that effective because Pikachu's sick. That Magnemite shows back up and helps Pikachu, followed by some other Magnemites and Magneton. And they scare the Grimer away, and they chase it back to the sea, and the power comes back on. The Muck remains, and Pikachu and Magnemite use Thundershock together to knock the Muck out, and Ash catches the Muck, his first new Pokemon in a little while.
In ages. Oh my
In
goodness.
ages. They
Ash, I'm
leave.
glad you remembered where your Pokeballs were. Nice job, buddy.
Pikachu feels a little better because the electricity's been gotten rid of, and he has stopped being magnetized. As a result, the Magnemite is no longer interested in the electric mouse anymore. Our team feels like things are going well. Ash has got a new Pokemon. Team Rocket's Gyarados submarine rises out of the sea and has a big magnet on it. They're ready to catch magnetized Pikachu, but when they flip the switch, all those Magnemite and Magneton fly over to it. It weighs down the submarine, and the submarine sinks. And that's Team Rocket drowning again. As Ash and his friends are about to leave Grinchy City, they tell everyone that Grimer being here is a sign the city's polluted, and the citizens promise to clean up the city. Meanwhile, Ash sends Muck to Professor Oak, who's upset that this is the Pokemon that Ash chooses to send in because it smells like the whole Pokemon lab. And that is our episode.
Jesse, I have some qualms with this episode. Some notes, if I may.
Please give us your notes, Sean.
Ash voluntarily goes to a place called Grinchy City, does not know where he is when he goes to a place called Grinchy City, hugs a sick electric Pokemon and gets shocked, argues with a nurse and then insults a nurse, is a huge chicken despite like rushing blindly to solve the problem. Then he's a huge chicken. Watches a Magnemite but does not catch a Magnemite. Watches multiple Magnemite and Magneton but does not catch Magnemite or Magneton. Confuses the word streaker with the word stalker. The Pokemon he does catch, Jesse, is a literal pile of shit. And I can't stress that enough. That's the Pokemon that he does ultimately catch. And then he sends his friend and companion, who has supported him the entire way, the father figure that he needs in his life, Professor Oak. He sends him a literal bag of shit. Well, ball of shit, but a bag of shit. And that's my diatribe on Ash being an asshole in this episode. I do love watching this episode because it's dumb and goofy, but Ash pisses me off in this one.
It's another episode where there's a very, very strong environmental theme,
Yeah, it goes
which
on a
we
tear
have
for us
seen,
here.
which we have seen over and over again. And spoiler alert, friends, we will talk about it next week as well. But the whole like the city's too polluted, there's pollution. However, this is the question I have, Sean. If every Pokemon is special and you're supposed to care for them, where are Grimers and Mucks supposed to go?
If
If like,
we're gonna clean out the pollution and just the Grimers and the Mucks will die, and I
I
suppose we
guess
can
like
live with that.
that doesn't seem very nice.
Well, they're not adorable, Jesse. That's the problem. Every Pokemon is special as long as you're not fugly, you know? That's what it really comes
I
down
mean,
to.
I guess that's the rule in the real world and in the Pokemon
It does.
world.
It actually fits how life works, unfortunately, well. If you're not fugly, things go better for you. Words
Can
of
I just
wisdom.
can I just remark how funny it is that not Nurse Joy, Officer Jenny's like, I can't get a hold of anyone at the power plant. You kids go take care of it.
Here, strange children. I'm. I can't do anything in here except for stand by these Pokemon. Why don't you go solve the problem at the dangerous power plant? I see no problems here, Jesse.
None.
Nope.
Also, okay. My biggest qualm this whole episode is they're locked in that room. The Grimer are trying to get in, and the two power plant workers are like, "Aren't you guys Pokemon trainers?" And it's like they all just look at each other and like, "But all we have is Pikachu." And I'm like, "Where are the rest of your Pokemon? What? Does no one else have a Pokemon? Is it just Pikachu for some reason?"
Does all of the so this whole show revolves around Pokemon trainers, which seemingly every child wants to be, but but have mercy on the normal person that gets the normal job and therefore has no idea what Pokemon are or how they work whatsoever. It's disconcerting to say the least.
Well, and like, but our Pokemon trainers should at least like Ash, Misty, and Brock should have had other Pokemon there. And I'm like, where are they?
You've got them on you, I'm pretty confident.
I know. It's like pull them out. Um,
It's an exercise in frustration, but Jesse, we're almost at the 15-minute mark, so I'm going to say let's. If you have any final complaints to register, I'd love to hear about them before I award Ash his much maligned deserved grade.
um, uh, as a segue to that, Ash is convinced that he saved the day. He has that moment where he's like, Ash Ketchum saves the day once again. And I'm like, well, debatable. Um, what grade do you give our young hero today,
I,
Sean?
I want to give him an F, but I think I'm going to give him a D because nothing he did was an atrociously egregious other than send his friend a Pokeball full of shit. So I'm going to go with a D.
I'm gonna give him a B.
Did did
I
did we
don't.
watch different episodes?
I guess so. I don't think he did anything.
It's not very egregious. He does a lot of dumb Ash things, but they're not
It's
game
just
break.
it's just normal Ash things in my mind. And if I don't give him a decent grade when he's just kind of okay, then he's never gonna get one. So
Uh,
I'm grading him on the Ash curve,
he
Sean.
caught and he did catch a not base level Pokemon.
He did. He caught a
Can
evolved form of a Pokemon. That's
can we
pretty
can we
impressive.
compromise at a C? Can we go with a C? No, you give him your grade, and I'll move mine up to a C, and I'm not gonna force you to change your.
I will clarify mine as a B minus.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. So Ash, if you would just be a little nicer, I'd be a little more likely probably to give you a better grade. But you act like a jackass through the episode, and that hinders my perception. It was. It's still an interesting episode of all of my issues with Ash's side. It's an engaging episode, and it starts Ash on this tear of environmentally friendly stuff, which is pretty amusing.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
very 90s after school special. Jesse, I think it's time for our Pokedjacent topic, which, in the spirit of Christmas, because our episode itself was not Christmas spirit at all, can't figure out how to tie up Christmas spirit into it. So we're going to do our Pokedjacent, where we are paying homage to things that we like for no other reason than that we like them. This week is a bit of a wild card. Jesse, for our Christmas Pokedjacent, I want you to tell me about your favorite Christmas movie. I can go first or you can go first. Doesn't matter to me.
I will go first. My favorite Christmas movie, I think the one I enjoy watching the most is um The Grinch. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. It's very specifically the live action Jim Carrey version because it's so dumb.
Damn it, Jesse.
Is
Now,
that yours?
yes, now our Pokedjacent's not interesting at all.
I'm done. I ignore what I just said. My
No,
favorite
you don't have to
Christmas
change your
movie.
answer. I think that just gives validation to how good of a goofy, silly movie that is. Okay, so acknowledging that's both of our favorite movies, maybe we each pick our number two. What about that? Give me your second favorite? Is that
I will. I do love though that the Grinch is just phenomenal. So
it is, and I'm
I'm
so glad
glad
we
we're
both love it.
on the same page.
It's very
My,
us.
my number my number two, I won't go with something obvious. I'll say my number two, I very much enjoy Christmas with the Cranks. I think it is very dumb and stupid also. The whole plot, not doing Christmas and suddenly having to do Christmas is very fun. And Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis are a fantastic pair in that movie. And the whole honey ham thing, the grocery store, is one of my favorite bits ever.
It's a fantastic scene in the grocery store. I know everybody was expecting me to do like a stupid, like a Die Hard thing or whatever. I don't, I'm not going to do that. I will say, Jesse, just for your information, that Chris Ford, aka the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter, is on this campaign to prove that Harry Potter is a Christmas movie, and I find that kind of amusing. He's got some legs to stand on. I don't know how much. I'll say that my second favorite one is probably Home Alone. I can't even tell you which one. Uh, you know what? I'll lean a little bit towards the second one just because I really like the cute ending scene in Rockefeller Center with the big or the scene in Rockefeller Center with the big tree and the lady who's also in Angels in the Outfield, which is another favorite movie of mine, and all that. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and what's Tim Curry? right? That's always a huge bonus for any movie. So I'm going to say Home Alone 1 as it's funny, it's actiony, but still touching in its own way. That's what I got.
Good choice.
That's
It's
my
good
second
choice.
pick. I'm so glad we both. My favorite scene from The Grinch itself is when he's reading names out of the phone book and he's just going to hate, 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 double hate, loathe entirely.
My favorite is the mailroom scene. This is that. That was hers. This is yours. This is that. And now for the rest of you, blackmail, jury duty, eviction note, chain letter.
It's amazing. Or when he's going through his sketch. I think it's just that role was meant for Jim Carrey, but when he's going through his schedule, dinner with myself, I can't cancel on that again. Wallow in shelf pity. What is it? Solve world hunger. Tell no one.
Tell no one. God.
Oh, it's such a great movie. I'm so glad we both love it. Let's get together and let's drink gin and watch The Grinch, and we'll have a
mistletoe. Pucker up and kiss it, Whoville, man.
That's it. I'm not going. Jesse, I say that line probably once a week in that as good of a tone. I can't do it, but I try my best in that tone.
It's pretty impressive, Sean. It's a good impersonation.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You can't. So for those who aren't aware, Jesse can't see my face right now. So hopefully when I say, that's it, I'm not going, he just hears Jim Carrey. That's what I do.
I do. I think it's pretty good.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's our outrageous Pokedjacent. We would love to hear what your favorite Christmas movies are down in the comments or on any social medium. Jesse, we're all over the board. We are on Twitter at Pokemalarkey, Instagram at Pokemalarkey, TikTok at Pokemalarkey, YouTube. Comment right here below the video. If you're listening on a podcast, I actually don't know how you comment if you're listening on a podcast. Leave a review. Comment in the review. I don't know. Is this a scam to get you to leave reviews? Maybe. And last but not least, despite being an old man, I tried to figure out Discord, and I'll share a Discord link in the description if I can figure out how. Discord is too new for my brain. Thanks for listening to Pokedjacent. And thanks for listening to Pokemalarkey. Merry Christmas, Jesse. Merry Christmas to you and all of your loved ones. And happy holidays beyond that.
Merry Christmas to you and to yours.
That was beautiful.
I hope you're visited by 3 ghosts who teach you the true meaning of
Jesse, Christmas. I already sleep like shit. Please don't wish ghosts on me. Please don't.
It'll be fine.
No, I have no interest in further haunting of my sleep.
You'll have fun.
Solve world hunger. Tell no one.
No one.
Thank you all so much. It has been a pleasure. Come back, visit us. The next time you see us, it'll be the year 2022. That's pretty wild. I don't want to think about it. Come back and visit us then. In the meantime, my name's Sean Shaler. That's my friend Jesse Lobbs. See you later.